If you have clicked on this video, you know perfectly what the value of this pair is, so I won't explain it, but what I will talk about today is how to navigate through this space, because to be honest, value of this pair is probably the place where all of us spend the most time. Whatever it is, if our goal is to, grow a business, to develop a nice physique, all of that stuff, always the place of the value of this pair is, the place where we spend the most amount of time. And I really think that it is crucial to know how to navigate through this value of this pair, because to be honest with you, there are only two paths that we can take from that point on. We can either just quit, okay, or we can just find our way out of this place and succeed, essentially. So, what I want you to do, if you find yourself in this value of this pair, I mean many values of this pair right now, because not only I have this channel, I have also my business that I'm trying to run, all of that stuff. I'm also, working out. So I am in a lot of different values of this pair, right? And so there's one way that this advice that I will give you in just a second will help you essentially move through this phase, okay? So let's start. What I want you to do, the first thing is to take the advice that I have given you yesterday, which is to analyze your surroundings, because I think that, when you hear for the first time about the concept of the value of this pair, it's like you kind of think that it is some kind of place where you just have to be for God knows how long, and something magical will happen eventually, and all of a sudden you will just succeed if you don't quit. But that's not really the case. Value of this pair is a really wide place, I would call it, and I would like you to imagine it as a mountain that you have to climb, okay? Because even on the graph, it's actually a mountain. And so once you land there, once you find yourself in this valley of this pair, what happens is you're essentially in front of the mountain, okay? And you should always remember that the next step, that the next checkpoint is this state of informed optimism, okay? I hope I got it right. Which means, it's really important to understand the name of this next checkpoint: informed optimism. Informed. So that means that essentially you need to gather information while you are in the valley of this pair. You have to gather a lot of information, you have to learn a lot, and that's essentially the action step that will allow you to climb this mountain. Because, as I said, I will use this channel as an example, okay? Because certainly, while having 1,000 subscribers was my childhood dream, essentially, it definitely is not my main goal, because if that would be my main goal, I would essentially stop recording those videos like a week or two ago, okay? So that wasn't my main goal. I'm grateful for that. I'm happy that I was able to finally achieve it, okay? But as I said, that's not my main goal. I aim a lot higher, essentially. So I'm still in this value of this pair, but compared to someone who just started their journey or is recording for, I don't know, like 2 months, for example, and they are sitting on 500 subscribers or less, right? They are still at the same place, technically. They are as well on the value of this pair. But in my case, I'm higher than them. I already climbed this mountain to some degree, okay? And so I can basically look down and wave to them, okay? You have to understand that, but it's really not about sitting in this place for God knows how long and trying to just do the thing, right? And that's really it, but something magical will happen and all of a sudden you'll find yourself on the path of success. That's not the case. You have to actually take effort and climb this mountain. Now, how do you climb this mountain? That's the question. It's really easy, because I say it's easy, but a lot of people make the same mistake, which is that they kind of know, kind of intuitively, that they need to gather a lot of information and learn a lot in order to succeed, but they make this mistake that they are actually learning, but they are not implementing it, or they forget about taking the basic action. What I mean by that is, let's say your goal is to develop a great physique, and you will find yourself in this valley of despair where you are just overwhelmed with the content that is out there, and you are trying to find like the best tricep exercise, because when you started it was like all right, and you could see the actual fast progress, right? And it was nice, and all of a sudden you feel like this progress kind of slowed down, so you find you're trying to find better tricep exercises or bicep exercises or anything like that, better splits, better workouts, and it really doesn't work. And what you are doing right then is that, okay, you are finding this new information, and maybe finally you will stumble upon the right information that will actually enlighten you and tell you that, yeah, it is easier to make progress at the beginning because your body is has to adapt really fast, but then it's kind of harder and harder to make progress, and you have to basically spend more time on the same exercise to see the same amount of progress, essentially. Maybe you will stumble upon this piece of information eventually, but what you need to do is, until you stumble upon this enlightening piece of information that will take you higher, allow you to climb higher, is you can't forget about taking the basic action steps that essentially got you to this Valley of Despair, because Valley of Despair is not like a place that takes back your progress. It is actually a sign that you have progressed a lot, like you're halfway through, essentially. So it's not like you all of a sudden lost all the progress and now you need to find something else and start all over again. That's not the case. You just need to find some enlightening information. You just have to slowly but surely climb up this mountain. But you can't forget about doing the things that got you here in the first place, that allows you to go half of the way until this very point where you feel you're lost and you find yourself in this Valley of Despair. Okay, you can't forget about it. You have to do this basic steps, basic actions. If that's sending DMs, and like, let's say your story is that you were sending those DMs and you were outreaching people, you were trying to land your first client, and you had your first sales call, and unfortunately you weren't able to close, and now you're kind of not optimistic anymore, and you feel like you're lost, and you feel like you're shit, and you feel like your service is shit. It's not really the case that now you have to find something entirely new, okay, and totally stop doing what you were doing before, because you have to realize that there were steps that you took that allowed you to book your first sales call. That's awesome achievement, and that allows you to progress even further to this Valley of Despair. Okay, that's how it goes. That's how it works. It's really easy to navigate through this Valley of Despair. You have to just understand that, first of all, you cannot forget about the basics. You cannot forget about the steps that took you here, and you cannot expect to go out of here fast, because success is never fast. If success would be easy, every single person essentially would be successful. Okay, but I want you to ask yourself this question: why there are so many intelligent people working in 9 to 5, and they are really intelligent, and sometimes they end up being homeless, for example? Okay, the reason is because while there are a lot of very intelligent people, not every single one of them have the ability to truly go through the hard times and beat this Valley of Despair and get out of here. Okay, but you can be the one if you truly just remember to do the basic steps that you were doing at the beginning, and just keep learning, keep implementing those stuff, but never forget about basics. And know your surroundings. Know that there is another checkpoint, and that you're halfway through, and that it's not like any kind of mystical place. It's actually a mountain, and you just have to climb it. Okay, and even if you climb it just a little, it doesn't really mean that you are able to totally get out of this Valley of Despair. Okay, yeah, that's all from me. I hope you got value out of this video. If that's the case, you can let me know in the comments. You can subscribe to this channel. If you're new, you can join our free community. Link is in the description. Other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.